Let me tell you about our newest partner, Mint Mobile. With Mint Mobile, you can drop your expensive cell phone plan without having to sacrifice coverage, speed, or data. They're able to provide such an amazing offer by cutting out the middleman and selling to you directly online. Plans start for as little as $15 a month. $15 a month, guys. That is so unbelievably cheap. And making the switch is incredibly easy. Keep your current phone and phone number and activate your plan in minutes. Remember to support those who help us. Just go to trymintmobile.com/thoseguys to get started. That's trymintmobile.com/thoseguys.
Those guys.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson, what has he done?
Well, he's a business person.
He's got AIDS.
You hate.
I mean, he made love to every girl in every city in America, and he had AIDS. And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him. I hoped he could live and be well.
Those guys, those guys, those guys, those guys, those guys.
All right, red circle.
And we are back, Tyler. I feel like it sounds professional when I talk slow like that. Tyler, I'm going to give you a sentence, and then you tell me whether or not you want to discuss it, whether or not you want to chit-chat about it, okay?
Okay.
Please say yes. The rap group Ghetto Boys, G-E-T-O, Ghetto Boys.
Okay.
The rap group Ghetto Boys used an image of one of their members directly after he was shot in his eye by his own girlfriend as their album cover. Does that interest you at all?
Yeah, I would want to know if he signed off on that.
Well, I mean, he's in the group, so I would assume that he did.
That's true.
You're interested in it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. You Got Mail is when Tyler and I share an image amongst ourselves. We look at it, and then we discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you got?
Okay. That's, I won't lie, that's not great.
That's a man who's been shot through his eye.
Yeah. I won't sugarcoat it. It's not wonderful.
No.
And
he and his,
might I just say, it's impossible to look badass in a hospital gown. There is
Absolutely.
no looking badass in a hospital gown.
You know what helps is when you flip it around.
I was going to say, everybody knows your butt's out on the other side.
Exactly right.
We know what's flapping around back there.
Crack kills, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
So, so here's the deal. They're in, I'm not looking at the picture now, so help me navigate. They're in a hospital corridor.
Yep.
The main guy, well, the main guy in this photo is in a hospital bed. He has been notably shot in the eye.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's covered or whatever it is. You can't really tell. You only see the one eye looking back at you. But
I got very scared wading into these waters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the photo just isn't high definition enough or whatever, but you can't really see the other eye missing.
Right, but you could tell something is wrong. He's
in a hospital.
He's holding a cell phone.
That is actually the thing that stands out to me the most. It's technically a cell phone, but it's like one of the first cell phones ever made.
This album came out in 1991.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
There you go.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, my question here is, how did they get that photo opportunity? This feels like literally a life or death situation.
Yeah.
How are you posing with your well, I probably shouldn't say homies because that's coded language, but with your rap group?
Yeah. My guess would be he's now in the recovery phase and they were pushing him through the hall and they said, let's get this photo. And I'm wondering if they stopped a nurse that was on the way down the hall. Like, hey, could you take this photo for us?
You know what this reminds me of a little bit, and I'm not making light of it. The thing with Trump yesterday, the assassination attempt, they stopped in the middle of a crazy situation. They're like, hey, we capitalize on this.
Yeah, it's true. That part is strange to me about the Trump thing where they didn't whisk him off of the stage immediately. They kind of just stood there.
Sure, they did a little human TP.
It was very strange.
Yeah. Well, I think you're trying to get your logistic down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
No matter what the logistics are, all I know is they are off of this stage right now.
Yeah, I think it's hard to mobilize. Tyler, in that situation, Trump almost died.
He did.
Almost died.
He did, just an inch to the side, and he would have, again, it would have been a JFK situation. His head would have exploded.
I don't know how to transition from that to don't kill, but when you do.
I think he just did.
Don't kill.
But when you do. And I don't want to make light of this. Really what don't kill, but when you do is, it's really just true crime told in reverse, as if I were giving hints to the killer or the killers to be to keep them out of being safe. But really what it is I listen to Dateline, and then when somebody gets caught doing something crazy, I think I'm going to use that.
I really love how the floor right now is so covered in eggshells. You've never explained the...
I'm breaking the wall, baby. Don't kill.
You've never explained it.
Don't kill, but when you don't.
There are so many eggshells around here.
We're joking about, presidential assassinations. I did that baby thing. It's just,
true.
everything needs to slow down.
Yeah, I think you need to slow
Let's
down.
all relax. Everybody chill. So here's how I was going to tell this this story before all these
We're
eggshells got in.
Tarantinoing it. Okay.
So you're carrying a flashlight. Like, let's say you're going to kill somebody, Tyler. What do you bring? Like, how do you know what to bring, right?
When you're what?
You're going to kill someone.
Okay.
In this hypothetical.
Yeah.
Don't kill.
Yeah,
but
don't
when
ever
you
do
don't. Ever.
Yeah.
What do you bring? Do you bring, you need a nice piece of rope? Okay. That's helpful.
Why would you need rope?
You always need rope.
Well,
you always need rope.
It depends on, is this going to be a crime of passion? Do I hate this person? Or am I robbing them and getting out of Dodge very quickly?
Well, if you're robbing them, you don't need to kill them.
Where's the fun in that?
Okay, fair enough.
Jeez.
This money is worth more to me if it's bloodstained. So you're carrying a flashlight in. A flashlight, good thing to have, right? You never know what you're going to come up against.
Agreed. Blinds them if you put it right in their face. They
Great
can't
job.
see what's happening.
Great
Yep.
job.
Yep.
That's perfect. Now, you're wearing gloves, right? Because you don't want to have any fingerprints. I'm saying go with a full latex bodysuit if it's available to you. Skin cells, hair cells. It'd be crazy out here for a killer.
You are going to stand out walking down the street with a full latex suit
Sure.
on.
Only kill people in like a human condom convention. Now, you're carrying the flashlight, you're wearing the gloves. Good job. But we're thinking these things out. We're not just acting on impulse. We're planning way in ahead. Here's my question, and often things are dropped in the chaos of murder. Things go crazy. Your adrenaline is pumping. It's very primal. Plus the viscosity of blood, very high. Did you put the batteries in with gloves on? If you drop that flashlight, they open it up. They've got your fingerprints. Did you lick the stamp of that letter that you're sending to the police to let them know that you want to be paid? We're thinking these things out in the hypothetical. If I had done this segment the way that I had originally planned, which I won't. Did we plan these things out? There are these little things. This is what gets you caught, Tyler. Breaking the glass outwards instead of inwards in your own home. It's just worth thinking about. Anything to add to that, Tyler?
No, it's you kind of covered all the bases.
Thank you.
Know, it's basically the whole idea of this segment today was don't leave behind evidence, which is, I think, a great tip.
But I think that there's and that is don't kill, but when you do, because I'm afraid we're going to run out of bed. I think that it's the little things. It's thinking 10 steps ahead. Let me ask you something. Do you think you could successfully kill someone?
No.
No?
No.
Why
no.
not?
I would be so...
I don't mean the emotional impact.
No.
I just mean thinking it out.
I would be so nervous throughout the entire process. I have no doubt that I would make a mistake somewhere along the lines.
I like to fancy myself a killer.
You do, which is weird. That's not even a bit. Like he likes to think of it that way.
That's it. That's the end of my sentence.
Okay, good.
There's no follow-up there.
Good. Really learning the host of the show.
So how's your mom? All right. Let's go ahead and let's take a break. We're going to come back. I'm going to give you some weird parenting news. You're going to give me a good story, a bad story, an interesting story, and we're going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I know everyone says this, but I am genuinely excited to tell you about our newest sponsor, Keen. What is Keen, you ask? I cannot wait to to tell you. Keen is the leading provider of online psychic readings. With more than 35 million successful sessions under their belt, Keen is one of the most trusted providers in the space. I'm talking about tarot readings. I'm talking about love life readings. I'm talking about astrology readings. And yes, I'm talking about chakra cleansings and many more areas of expertise. Go to trykeen.com/thoseguys and get your first 5 minutes of any reading for only $1. What? The world is made up of things we don't understand, of things we can't see or touch, so expand your horizons while supporting those guys you hate.
Those guys.
Two lovers forbidden from one another. A war divides their people, and a mountain divides them apart. Build a path to be together. Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but there it goes.
You hate.
Secret tunnel through the mountains. Secret tunnel. Yeah.
Those guys you hate.
Red circle, by the way.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get that in?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And we're back, Tyler. We got to edit out that burp because that's
Yeah.
very unbecoming of me. And Lord knows I don't need any other help. Tyler, do you think it is good or bad for a child to be raised in a single parent home? Go ahead. You're always walking around here just mother effing single mothers, and now's your chance to really get it out.
Well, that's more of a behind the scenes kind of thing. I don't like to just put all that out there. It can absolutely be a challenge. I believe that our natural state is to be in a home with two parents, you know.
Does it have to be a man and a woman, Tyler?
But it does not. No,
Okay.
just two people.
Strong hands.
Because you need, as you're growing up and you go through those formative years of specifically puberty and all that stuff, you need a, dare I say, a guiding light, a good example of how to treat another person with respect, with love, with kindness. And there are no better example than two parents who truly love each other and share you
and respect each other and communicate
as their
well.
child. Yes, exactly.
And also, whatever the genders are, very often your two parents represent different personality types.
For sure.
And it's not gender-based. Sometimes you can have the home father and the aggressive mother or whatever the deal is. Mm-hmm. But you know what can be challenging is when you're separated. And I had this happen to me very recently, and this has happened to me a lot throughout my son's life, where I'll be out and I'll be doing whatever, God knows, whatever I'm getting into at that moment. Mm-hmm. And then the phone rings and I pick it up, and it is my son's mom. And she is angry with my son.
Cannot be a fun call to have.
And she wants me to also be angry. And in the split second, at the drop of a hat, I am now supposed to activate, not unlike Jason Bourne, into this aggressive punishment type. And it's fucking hard. It's hard to feign being upset when you don't even know what the hell's going on. Mm-hmm. Help me.
I can't argue with that.
Help me with that.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you want,
I want to be helpful.
I could come like punch you in the nuts or something like that. That'll get your anger rolling, you know, and then you yell at your son, and then, you know, everybody goes on being happy.
Okay, I will go ahead and I will consider that. That door right there just opened up like a half of an inch, and I got to tell you, it scared the shit out of me. Because the banister is right behind it and it looked like somebody was crouching.
Oh,
this is not part of the show.
No,
that was very scary.
Yeah.
That was very scary.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
Activate, like Jason Bourne, not unlike all of my primal chemicals that just rushed through me when I thought somebody was crouching at me.
Yeah.
It's very hard to activate it, but you got to do it. That's the thing. You got to have both parents in the house so they're both being aggravated at the same time. So they erupt at the same time.
I can't imagine that's the lesson here.
Erupt at the same time, parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never want to erupt early. All right, Tyler. That's it.
This is a weird one.
I know. I told you I am in a weird place, and I
Yeah.
hope everybody has.
Why are you inflicting on the rest of us? You're in a weird place, so now everybody else has to be?
Just the way my mind works, and I'm sorry about that. I would change it if I could. You take the floor. You do your segment of good, bad, and interesting. I'll try to say as little as I can.
Okay. Quite the lead-in.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes, it is GBI. A good story, a bad story, an interesting story, and we're gonna jump right into it. Right now. Let's do it. Right, for our good story, we have a hero of the week situation. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to hit the pew, 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 pew sound effect.
Love it.
We are discussing 88-year-old Emma Patterson, who lives in Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
That's a hard word for me to say.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That in rural.
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 Yeah.
Just feels wrong falling out of my mouth.
For me, it's colloquial. Oh, I nailed it.
That was good.
Nice, thank
I
you.
think that's a tough one for everybody.
Thank you. Well, I just want to give a big thank you to her. I want to give a big thank you to her and people that are just like this, because there are sincerely not enough of them. Emma has retired from being a foster mom for over 40 years.
It's beautiful.
And she has fostered 40 children. She fostered on average 1 child per year.
I could have done that math.
That's crazy.
That's really beautiful.
She spent the second half of her life giving back to the most vulnerable, fostering something that is desperately needed. As of 2020, there were 400,000 children in the foster care system. 400,000. Do you know the average cost of adopting a child?
Well, are you in the foster?
No, this one isn't, but I'm just saying we have so many kids that are up for adoption that need a home. Fostering is not the same, but guess the price.
Now you're talking about just going through with the process, not even their food or their housing or anything like that.
Correct. Getting
$10,000.
It is $10,000.
Is it true?
It is on average $10,000 per kid.
That is insane. So in other words, if you want to do something selfless, if you want to do something great, it's going to cost you exorbitantly.
A shitload of money.
Yeah.
So she got into it because when her kids, she has 3 kids, I believe. When her kids would come home from school or come back from their friend's house, they would have a couple kids in tow that just didn't have anywhere to go. So she would feed them, clothe them, and that's how her career in fostering got started.
Well, when you say career, are they paying her? And forgive me for
No, she was using her own money. I just said career is kind of a term to
Understood.
use because that is, for the second half of her life, that is what she did with her life.
Do you think you could foster a child?
I think so, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I genuinely believe I would be a really good dad.
I do too.
I think, yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Until they start acting up, then I gotta...
The idea is, and I think a lot of people would think this, not unlike dogs, this idea of I didn't raise them, so I would be very afraid of what it is that I'm getting.
Yeah.
You know, because I would imagine a lot of kids who are in the foster program could have they're obviously bringing a lot of baggage with them.
I would assume so.
It takes a real special person, not unlike a special needs parent.
Yeah.
Where it takes a special type of person to be able to do that.
No question.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful thing. Good job, Emma.
Well, let's jump into our bad, because this is, I don't know.
It's the way of the world.
I don't know. This
is a bad one?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah, kinda. Well, let's...
You're looking downcast.
It's
about
just
this.
it's just upsetting because there's just so much going on in the world. Can we just go back to being a regular timeline? Why do we have to be the crazy timeline with these unprecedented things happening on what seems like a yearly basis? I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of generations have felt that way, but your point stands to reason with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, my bad story this week is all about the Supreme Court, Ryan. What do you know about the Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. It is the top of the food chain. It's where 2 Live Crew went.
What?
For Pop That Pussy. That's true.
I don't understand the story you're making.
Pop That Coochie,
Yeah.
which really was the P word.
Yeah.
They were...
I like how you say the P word after you've already
fix
said
it.
the
We'll
word.
fix it. I regret. It sounded terrible coming out of my mouth. The idea is that they were attacked. They took that, we can review.
Okay,
but they took that song down, and they took the fight to the courts of, hey, this is our freedom of speech. We're allowed to say this stuff. And then that is...
Did they win?
They won.
Awesome.
Took it all the way to the Supreme Court.
And it's true. It's freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Well, those days are over, Ryan.
Free speech?
Well, I don't know if free speech is necessarily over, but some crazy shit is happening. So let's break this down because there's a lot. So it seems like there's always something happening, and it's difficult to keep up with everything. But if anything, all of this stuff happening lulls us into a state of apathy because there is so much to keep up with. It's like we get overloaded with bad information, and so our brains just shut down.
Yeah. I'm there. That's why I struggle so much keeping up with current events. It just overwhelms me.
That's it. And I think so many people feel that way. All right. Well, number one, the Supreme Court rules ex-presidents or presidents in general have broad immunity. So the statement is that it's a whole thing, but the main statement, the main sentence is he is entitled to at least presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts. There is no immunity for unofficial acts. So the question is, what's an official act and what's an unofficial act? Number two, they just overturned the ruling from a California-based appeals court that made outdoor sleeping bans illegal, meaning states are now allowed to make laws that say sleeping outside is illegal. Guess who that affects the most?
Cowboys?
You kind of got me there. Maybe
Yeah.
cowboys sleep outside, but they have like cabins and stuff like
So
that.
they are making it illegal to be homeless?
Correct.
Or unhoused in their state?
They're making it legal, or they're making it possible for states to make it illegal. So they're not saying, hey, it's a broad legal thing. They're just telling states, if you want to make it illegal, go for it. And states are going to take them up on that.
That's beautiful.
Number three, they overturned the 1984 decision, colloquially known as Chevron. Oh, come on, say it.
Did you do that on purpose?
I just didn't want to trip over
No,
it.
you crushed it. I'm
Thank
saying,
you.
did you set all that up on purpose?
No, it was
All
an
right.
accident.
Meant to be.
It basically states that federal agencies should be allowed to fill in the details when laws aren't crystal clear. So what it said was that when we have a gray area on certain laws, we go to the experts. We go to the EPA for environmental things. We go to the FCC for things happening over our airwaves, stuff like that. And now it's saying that and judges get to decide these things. You know, judges who know a shitload about law, but not experts on the environment and all this other stuff. And finally,
Well, that just means that you get people into positions of power that agree with what it is that you're doing.
That is correct.
And then you can kind of run the system.
Yep.
Good for you.
And finally, because this is depressing me, the Supreme Court on last Wednesday struck down part of a federal anti-corruption law that makes it a crime for state and local officials to take gifts valued at more than $5,000 from a donor who had previously been awarded lucrative contracts or other. Basically what it's saying is, as long as you don't take the money before the decision is made, saying, I will pay you if you make a law in my favor, what it now says is that as long as the law was made prior to the money being given, it's okay.
So you could just have a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Here, just hold on to that check for 2 days.
Quid pro quo. You make this law for me, I will give you whatever it is.
Lobbyism. Fucking us.
Kind of a problem.
That is the way that the corporations maintain their stranglehold on government.
Yep.
Our companies are our government. So good job, Supreme Court.
Yeah, as I said, it's been a fun ride, America. I mean, it was.
Sure.
It was.
Before we were born.
On your mark, get set, terrible.
And finally, for our interesting. Ronaldo, the 6-foot male snake, gives birth to 14 babies in rare virgin birth.
I thought you were talking about the soccer player, and I'm like, wow, I did not realize he, deserved your ire as such. Okay, say that again. Now I'm ready.
Ronaldo, the 6-foot male snake, gives birth to 14 babies in rare virgin birth.
Now, is this snake, I know some amphibians, I know that certain species can pollinate themselves, if you will, if there is not another match in their environment. Is that what's happening here?
That is correct. The snake was, I believe, in Brazil. I could be wrong about that. He was misidentified, misgendered, which this is 2024. You don't fucking do that shit, guys. Come on. And it is called parthenogenesis. It is a natural form of asexual reproduction in which growth and development of an embryo occur directly from an egg without need for fertilization. The crazy thing
That's incredible.
is this happens a lot with snakes and lower grade, so to speak, types of animals. Very, very rarely does it ever happen with something as evolved as a snake, as a reptile like that.
Well, you just said snakes and lower evolved.
No, it happens with snakes like it did with this one, but it is the higher up the food chain you get,
Sure, the more complex the organism.
Correct. The far more rare that it is. So it does happen with snakes as it did with this one, but you almost never see it.
Wow, that's very interesting.
It is interesting.
Oh man, I mean, all of reproduction, that it's magic. It's just science is magic. There's no difference.
Sure. Just give me a wand and let me wave it around like Harry Potter.
We've asked you to stop doing that. But that idea that the not the human body, but that any animal's body can change genders to facilitate keep propagating the species.
Yeah.
That's magic, dude.
Yeah, there's
convince me otherwise.
Type of frog that will change from male to female or female to male, and if there's no other type of sex in there. So
It'd be crazy out here.
pretty cool. And that was GBI.
Beautiful job, Tyler. Great job this week.
So where are we moving? What country are we moving to? I don't even think Canada's a viable option anymore.
Borneo?
Not if Pony's not going to be there.
Oh,
Sorry.
All right.
Hey, you brought it up.
All right.
So we could rescue her.
Somebody put a saddle on that pony. All right, Tyler. Great job. Tell people how they can send their hate mail for everything that happened here today.
Yeah, go to thoseguysyouhate.com. We have the links right there for you. Sign up, subscribe to TikTok, Instagram. If you're going to send us hate mail, at least subscribe in the process. You know?
Hate listen.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
And we are on TikTok at Those Guys You Hate, or we are on YouTube or Instagram at @ThoseGuys_You Hate.
Be there or be square. Tyler, what is the moral of the story?
The moral of the story, I'm going to go with the easy story. Don't abuse animals.
Sure.
No, I mean, just because they can't verbally tell you no.
No matter how sexy.
Don't. Yeah. Sexiness is not a reason to do despicable things to somebody.
Yeah.
No matter what, whether it be a human, an orangutan, no matter how sexy that orangutan is.
If he didn't want it, he wouldn't be shaved like that.
So as I said, don't abuse animals. Please don't abuse animals. They are our friends.
They are our friends.
Except tigers, they'll eat you. Ryan, what's
true.
What's the moral of the story?
You got to wear one of those masks on the back of your head.
What, with the spikes coming out or whatever it is?
No, it's just because they always attack from behind. So in India, they'll put a mask on the back of their head, helps deter tigers. That is not my moral of the story because we didn't talk about that this week. My moral of the story is living on a routine, make it work for you. Find something and just build on it. Start my gym routine started as such. It was a drip of water and it has eroded into this beautiful thing that I live by. Find a routine that works for you and is helpful for you and start those building blocks of your life and build up from there.
I love it. That's well said.
Where are those guys you hate?
Be kind or we'll kill you.
I thought you were going to say shave you.
Ah, damn it. You want to do it again? Red circle. We're back, Ryan.
We are back.
We're back.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, man.
You have one piece of hair sticking straight up, and I like it.
I want to pretend like I don't care, but now it's bothering the hell out of me.
I mean, it's like a peacock, like a.
I can't see it.
Okay,
Yes, I'm just gonna have to deal.
I'm the one who has to deal with it. You can't see it.
That's true.
Hi, Tyler.
How are you, buddy?
Good, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired today, but
Yeah.
overall I'm pretty good. You know, life be good.
Rigorous schedule, man.
Where are my riggers at? We went to San Diego over the week. How'd you feel about that?
For what it was enjoyable.
It was nice.
I actually had a genuinely decent time. You know,
Genuinely.
that's about as good as you're gonna get from me.
Well, it was work related for the job that we don't have. And we made it happen. We went out there. It was a lot of travel for a short period of time. We ate dinner on an aircraft carrier, which is a weird thing to say, but we did.
Yeah, the schedule was we left first thing Monday, went across literally on the other side of the country from us.
About as far as you can get.
And then came back on Wednesday. So that is a quick turnaround time.
Airlines, struggling. Struggling.
Big greedy, Ryan.
Yeah, they're being a little greedy, and it's kind of coming back to bite us in the ass.
Yeah.
We did get to meet Leonard. Was his name Leonard?
Lawrence.
He made a huge impression on me. Can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But it was this gentleman who, I mean, I'm trying to think of the world record for the most bad news given consecutively, and that's what Lawrence had to give out over the overhead speaker at our terminal.
And he did it with such confidence.
Such panache.
Yeah.
Such, dare I say, sassiness that at one point he said over the loudspeaker, he said, okay, how about this? How about you let me look on the computer so I can answer your questions? I can't get to step 2 if I can't finish up step 1. Is that okay? Is that okay with everybody? And literally made everybody put their thumbs up in the air to say, yes, that is okay. We will leave you alone. And everybody took it happily. I mean, he put that shit out there like a champ.
Yeah.
I was impressed by him.
And you know what it is? He did the very thing that everybody that works in customer service has always wanted to do. He stopped one step short of going, how about you all go fuck yourselves?
Fuck you, San Diego.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. So we went to, we did that. We conquered. We're back. I'm still not right, Tyler. I'm still not right.
I know.
And you know what else fucked me up? And I think maybe somebody else can find purchase in this. I think that somebody else will know exactly what I'm talking about. I was awoken the other night because of a cramp in my calf.
Is this again or the same situation?
We just haven't done the show in a long time.
That's totally
fair. And
fair.
I don't have a lot of exciting shit going on in my life, so I got to hold on to it. You know what I mean?
That statement made me a little sad.
Me too, but not as sad as the cramp in my calf.
That's a tough one.
It's a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's like somebody shot you.
Yeah.
I wish somebody had shot me. It would have gotten it over quicker.
It's like somebody's torturing you in the middle of the night.
From the inside. The call's coming from inside the calf.
Yeah. And now I'm fully awake. Thanks a lot, calf muscle.
There is no more awake than the heightened sense of fight or flight that is occurring in my body.
Yeah.
It was fucked up. It was you're just left. It doesn't go away. It's not like all of a sudden it just goes away and you go back to slumberland.
Well, it's slumberland, huh? Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It is the psychological fear that you because now you're waiting for somebody to creep into your room and stab you in the calf again.
I haven't slept since. What you're saying is totally true. I am Howard Hughesing it.
I think I may have found the source of your exhaustion.
Sure, it's my calves. I got to get rid of them.
Yep.
Tyler, Donald Trump. Anything going on with him?
No, it's
weird. You would think before an election, more things would be happening.
Yeah.
But wild yesterday, huh?
Yeah, that was...
explain for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about.
Well, first of all, if you don't know, how is that possible? Second of all...
some people disconnect from that world because it's harmful. What I mean is just the bad news that is constantly pouring in.
Yeah, no, that's true. But this one kind of
big deal.
There was an assassination attempt yesterday on Donald Trump.
Not unlike the Will Smith slap. Are we positive this wasn't?
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Somebody died. Somebody in the audience.
Will Smith's career, Tyler.
They missed Trump and they hit somebody behind him.
Do we know who this person is?
Just somebody in the audience. It was just a concert goer, a rally goer.
Rally goer.
And there's 2 other people that are in critical condition right now.
I am not, notably, a Trump fan. He just doesn't mesh with my idea of what a president should look, sound, or taste like.
Or a human being in general.
Yes, but if you're and I'm not saying him, but I'm not saying him, a shitty human being in general, generally speaking, it doesn't affect me. Like you're just a dick and then people just deal with you wherever you are.
Yeah, you move on with your life.
That's it.
Yeah.
This person represents me and who I am.
Yeah, and is in control of the levers and movers of what makes this country go.
Sure.
And what happens to this country kind of happens to all of us.
Sure. But this is obviously an abysmal situation. You can't, that's so crazy that if it had been an inch,
Literally an inch.
how did that even work with the velocity and the angle? I don't even understand what happened there.
He missed. It was a 20-year-old kid who
wow.
did it.
I didn't know that.
20-year-old kid. And you know what was really shocking?
A Marine?
Because no, I don't.
I just rolled the
think
dice
so.
on that one. What the hell? You never know.
I don't think so. But you know the thing that I find really interesting is that he was a registered Republican. This wasn't some like crazy ass liberal that went out to get him.
Do we know where Biden was?
Planning the whole thing, obviously. So there's so many questions up in the air right now. Like, why did he do it? You know, what pushed him to do it?
Could you imagine people waking up to Trump dead? His head explodes.
It would. It would be a JFK assassination again.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it's I'm so curious as to what pushed this. Obviously, everybody is.
And he killed himself. Yeah.
What? No. They killed him.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They saw where he was and they sniped him like very quickly.
I saw a little bit of what was happening. And I like I said, I can't invest my energy into it because it just robs me of any sort of good feelings.
Yeah.
What a terrible situation, but I don't know all the details.
Well, there's two wildly interesting photos, which is obviously the first one with Donald Trump. He's got blood on his face because it hit him in the ear.
And man, does that guy know when a photo opportunity presents itself.
I agree with you.
Fucking
I'm
A, dude.
so against everything that he represents. That's one of the most badass photos I've ever seen.
There's one with the American flag over his head, and I'm like, damn it, man.
This is pretty good.
Damn it. Well, I just worry about what this means moving forward. Obviously, my politics are on display here. I'm glad he's alive, but man.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad it didn't kill him.
Becoming a martyr just,
Yeah, agreed. And the second photo, a New York Times journalist was there right in front of him. One of the photos he grabbed, you can see the bullet passing right past his head. I'll try to look it up while we're here. And because it's moving so fast, the bullet looks like it's 2 feet long.
Sure, like when the cat turns around in the middle of a panoramic and all of a sudden it's a dachshund. I totally understand. So glad you're okay. Worried about what this means. Worried about everything.
It is going to ramp up violence, I would imagine.
Violence, I already assumed that he was going to win. I imagine this only pushes him further.
Yeah, I wonder what, because I wasn't alive at the time, I wonder what the reaction was when the JFK assassination happened. Was there a rise?
A lot
in
of dry cleaning.
A lot of...
I'm sorry.
You can't get blood out of a suit. What dry cleaning are you going
My
to?
pillbox hat. I am sorry to the JFK estate.
Too soon? I'm wondering.
Spoiler alert.
I'm wondering if there was a rise in violence immediately following that. I don't know. We can review.
I don't either. In my gut instinct is just it was a different time. Obviously, not that violence didn't exist. Had they invented violence in the?
I think they were just getting around to it.
Sure, they were getting that leaded gasoline pumped out to all the different gas stations. But it just feels like a different time. I guess that's at the same time of Bay of Pigs and all of those things. So maybe I love Bay of Pigs and all those things. That's the only example I had. I said all of those things hoping that somebody else will do the work.
Yeah.
All right. And finally-ish, I got a question. I've fallen into this trap before. Is it rude to tell someone that they share a name with one of your pets?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Right?
That's a tough one.
So I met a guy named Ashes. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever met somebody who's shared a name with one of your pets and you want to be like, you're named what my dog is named?
Well, I've never owned a dog. However, you and I were working at the same restaurant together, and somebody came in and told me that their name was Riley, which was your dog's name at the time, and you instructed
you, Riley.
You instructed me to go to him and tell him that you have the same name as my brother's dog.
That seems like a reasonable. It's my stepdog.
And even me, I think I was like 18, 19, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Perfect victim. It's funny because I met a couple named Jake and Riley.
Okay.
So that is the name of two of my pets. They were two. It was a twofer.
Two fairly common names, though.
Two fairly
you know?
common names.
Yeah.
Jake and Riley. Do you know how painful it was not to be like, I've owned a couple of you?
Why did you say it with that inflection?
What inflection?
And that tone?
They were white.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I mean, that doesn't even come into to play here.
Of
But
course, so why'd you bring it up?
You made me feel immediately defensive, and I said it in a southern drawl.
You did.
I don't know why, Tyler.
That's the confusing part to me.
Me too. I am also confused by that.
Why
So-
do you do these things?
Really not sure.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. And that's it for me, I think.
Okay.
I think this has gone well. Except for
think so
that
as
last little bit.
Yeah.
I always get somehow like knee deep in racial waters. I'm a very forgiving, loving man. I don't know why I always do this.
There was also the whole, getting dry cleaning at a JFK assassination.
What was that?
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know. I think you're just revving up for the show.
You know what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to send the timestamps to my therapist and just be like, review this before our next session.
You're going to get a response saying, don't ever contact me again.
She's going to be like, that blew my mind.
It was just too good of a place to stop. I didn't want to say anything
No,
and spoil it.
I, as disappointed as I was with myself, I also feel like I nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. I've never been simultaneously proud and upset with somebody
Your
at the same
facial
time.
expressions was quite the moose-bouche. You're like,
I didn't know where to go.
is he waving me in? I don't know. Calf cramp. Not cool, God.
Yeah.
Not cool. I was like, should I become decaffeinated? Maybe. I hope you're recording
Red
this.
circle. Red circle.